Have you ever get stuck trying to ask a question in Italian language? Like, you know the words, but which what do you use? Which, how much, how many? Yeah, it can get confusing, but because you are a genius speaker, in this very video, well, actually at the end of this video, you're going to master the Italian interrogative adjectives. Don't worry, it sounds complicated, but it is super easy once you get the trick. So with no further ado, let's get started. What are interrogative adjectives? Think of them as your question starters, superheroes. They help you asking what, which one, how much, how many about a specific noun introduced into the sentence. And it is super important. Italian is a little bit more spicy, but definitely doable. Quale, quanto, and che. So, first player is quale. Quale translates often which or what. Quale is like your bread and butter when you want to define which one out of a group, and a few times can translate the English what. Quale, however, it is super easy because it remains the same for both masculine and feminine singular nouns. Singular, remember. Just remember that for plural, quale becomes quali. Example number one. Quale colore tu preferisci? Which color do you prefer? So, within a choice of a color, so something that belongs to the group of colors, you point to a specific one, the one that you like. Example number two. Quale libro stai tu leggendo? Of course, we can forget about tu, because the personal pronoun di persona in Italian is not often required. Quale libro stai leggendo? Which book are you reading? Remember to watch my video, I link up in the description, up in the tab and down in the description, about how gerundio works in Italian language, because it is the practical translation for the English ing form. In this case, we are describing an ingoing action using the English ing form. That's why we must conjugate the verb to its gerundio mood. Which book are you reading? Quale libro stai leggendo? Because I have in mind, because I'm addressing to a group of the books available, and I'm asking which one in particular that you are reading right now. Quale applicazione usi per studiare? Which app are you using to learn languages? Of course, there's only one answer, and it is L'Atudio app. Remember, please, to go down in the description of this video, you can find a landing page for downloading L'Atudio application to download the free ebook, and down below you can find also my code to unlock extra 30 free days. And please fill the survey below to help us to identify the kind of content that you want the most to be taught. For plural version, again, as I told you before, quale becomes quali. Quali scarpe compri? Which shoes do you buy? Among multiple pair of shoes, I'm asking for one in particular, the one you are about to buy. Quali film hai visto? Which movies have you seen? Among the group of movies, I'm asking about one in particular. Quanto? Quanto translates how much, how many. Quanto, of course, it's singular and masculine version. Quanto, how much. Quanti, how many, for plural. However, remember that in Italian language, you need to switch between genders, because quanto becomes quanta for singular feminine nouns, and quanti becomes quante for plural feminine nouns. Yes, very good. I can tell you are a genius speaker. However, let's get back in topic. So, quanto, quanta, quanti, quante, these four guys are all about quantity. Quanto? Quanto zucchero vuoi? How much sugar do you want? I'm asking for the quantity of the sugar that you need to put in your tea or your coffee. As well, I can say, or better, we can ask, quanto tempo hai? How much time do you have? Quanta, we can use quanta before feminine nouns. Quanta fame hai? How hungry are you? Because in Italian language, in a figurative way, you possess the hunger. Fame. So in English, it could sound like, how much hunger do you have? Quanti for masculine plural. Quanti anni hai? Classic example of how old are you? Well, that is the context translation, because in Italian language it will sound like, how many years do you have? Quanti libri hai letto? How many books have you read? Last but not least, quante. Right. Quante persone ci sono? How many people are there? Quante volte sei andato in Italia? How many times have you been in Italy? Now it's time for che, like K and E. Remember that in Italian, the C, the consonant, followed by H. The H transforms the C in a hard consonant, and hard K. Because originally, in the Italian alphabet, the letter K is not present, has been imported from English. That's why that very sound of the K in the Italian language is built by C and H. Che, good news, everybody, it is invariable. It doesn't change depending by gender nor number, and sums up the English what. So, che, it is a super chill interrogative adjective and can be used in pretty much every situation. That's why it is so important, because if somehow you forgot which adjective suits best the question you're asking, you can always tap into che. Che, it is often used when you're about to ask the nature or the type of something. Che film guardi? What movie are you watching? It differs from quale, because with quale I'm referring to a group of something and I ask about one particular case. But che, it is way more generic. Che film guardi? What movie are you watching? Simple and effective. If you are stressing too much in picking up the differences, the nuances between quale and che, just remember that che is your safest bet when you mean what in English language, and it directly precedes a noun. Alrighty then. Let's do a quick recap. Quale, quali often translates which, and in few cases what. They are both used when there's a choice or a specific item belonging to a group. Quanto, quanta, quanti, quante translates how much, how many, and often refers to quantity. Che, easy peasy lemon squeezy, what, and rarely which, and it never changes. Let's do a super quick quiz to let me understand if you get it correctly. Get ready to shout out the answer. I'm gonna ask for a question, and you need to put the right adjective, interrogative adjective. I will give you 3 seconds to answer. So, question number 1. Gelato vuoi? You can definitely fit every adjective, because I can say, che gelato vuoi? What ice cream do you want? Or if there's a choice among a group of ice creams, I can ask, quale gelato vuoi? Which one do you want? Or, quanto gelato vuoi? How much ice cream do you want? Every answer was the correct answer. Bravo, 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 bravo. Let's try the next question. Giorno è oggi? 3, 2, 1. Che giorno è oggi? This is a little bit more specific. Even though it's a tricky question, because you could have answered quale, because you have a limited set of days. However, remember that in Italian language, the standard way to ask about what day it is using che. Che giorno è oggi? What day is it today? Third question. Lingue parli. Exactly. The right answer is quante lingue parli? How many languages do you speak? How many? Quante, because we are asking for quantity, a number. But lingue, in Italian language, it is feminine and plural. That's why quanto becomes quante. Ladies and gentlemen, class is dismissed. Please let me know in the comments qual è la tua parola italiana preferita. Which one is your favorite Italian word? Remember to subscribe to my channel, watch my other videos, smash the like button, and don't forget to download the language learning application called L'Studio and use my code to get extra 30 days for free. But in the meantime, remember, speak like a genius. I have to go. Bye 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 bye.